Hey guys, today I'm going to teach you guys how to play Darius in the top lane. We're going to be watching this guy who's currently flying and smurfing through every rank, guys. This guy is currently master tier, has an incredible win rate, while also having an insane win rate with amazing stats. And just look at this guy, guys. Seriously, look at this guy. Look at this. This guy is probably one of the most consistent Darius players I've ever seen. And he's also got quite an interesting build. He's literally taking Gargoyles and Stoneplate with 24 Stark's Gauge. Like, this is not something you typically see, like, every day. So with that being said, guys, we're going to be watching this Darius player. I'm going to show you guys how he plays, but I'm also going to be explaining some stuff myself. So with that being said, guys, let's just get started right away. So, he's currently in the Darius against Yorick matchup, which is honestly quite a decent matchup for Darius. Now, as for the roots that this guy's using, he's taking Conqueror with Triumph, with Tenacity, Last Dance, with the Nymph's Cloak, as well as Celerity, with Attack Speed, AD, and Armor. He's also taking Ghost with Flash in every game, and he also likes to start out with W in most majority of his games. Now, something which I really like about this guy is his consistency. He's actually carrying in literally every single game that he plays. So it's going to be interesting to see how this guy plays. Now, as for the skill order, this Darius player likes to max his Q first in every game as the first, then maxing out E as secondary, and then maxing out his W as last. Now, as far as I've seen, you want to play very, very aggressive. This is just one of the play styles with Darius in general, and this guy plays Darius in a very aggressive way. The only true way how this guy gets such a consistency in his games is through playing very aggressive and having like while playing aggressive, like having proper vision throughout the map, being able to like calculate where Jonas are going to be and all that stuff. This is something you gotta be really good at when playing Darius. Typically, whenever you play Darius, besides playing aggressive, you really want to try to get really good at tracking down players on the map. For instance, understanding where the junglers are, understanding when mid laners are roaming. You need to see everything with Darius, because Darius is one thing that really is bad about Darius, which is the fact that he can't really run, except from using his Ghost. So keep that in mind. Now, as far as in the situation that Darius is currently in this matchup, he can play pretty aggressive, but then again, really depends on how Yorick plays it out. However, currently in this situation, he can't really cancel out Yorick's backport in case he might want to go back. But as soon as Darius gets the lane priority in this lane again, he should be able to outplay the Yorick and being able to like beat him. Most importantly, one thing to keep in mind with Darius is you can follow up very easily with Ghost once there's like a fight nearby, because combining your Ghost with Celerity and Nimbus Cloak is very OP. There's like one massive fight right here. Darius immediately popping his Ghost, and he's running insanely fast, guys. The Ghost is still active right now. Unfortunately, though, he does not get a kill. But this was a really good way to start off. Blitzcrank coming in as well, coming for a roam. It'd be pretty good if he gets the kill, but I highly doubt it. Now, something which I would recommend a lot on Darius in very hard matchups is taking down 2 Doran Blades. Now, I know that there's a lot of Darius players that don't do this. I hardly ever see any Darius players in high elo that builds up like 2 Doran Blades. However, having 2 Doran Blades does allow you to win harder matchups, because having a secondary Doran Blade, it's very cheap. It allows you to get more health, being able to get more sustain, but also more damage in general, which is very important too. Now, of course, having the lane priority right now against Yorick is very good because right now he can bait Yorick into potentially going into a fight and then completely setting it up for the jungler. All he has to do right now is kind of like pretend that he's willing to play aggressive, waiting for like a wall from Yorick. You can see, guys, with Darius, most of the time, you want to play as aggressive as you possibly can. You always want to have the lane kind of like around the side of your opponents. And if you're looking for a really good fight, you could also have the lane bounce back into. But generally, having the lane priority on Darius is very important because this allows both for being able to dive your opponent or having the jungler gank from the brushes. Now, something that this Darius player does in specific, he actually builds a Trinity Force in every single game that he plays. He never really builds a Black Lever, like only in a few specific games, but most of the time you will see this guy building a Trinity Force. It's only very specific matchups where he builds, where he does build a Black Lever. Now, something, you know, having a page early on Darius is probably one of the most broken items on Darius because having page allows you to become more tanky, having more damage, but also having movement speed when you auto your opponent. I highly recommend like getting a page as your first item if you're going for like an aggressive item. It allows you to chase your opponent a lot more easy while also getting like the basic stats which you need. So right now, he's just got to level 6. He has two options right now, which is to push the lane extremely hard, or having the lane to slow push towards Yorick. Now, in this case, it's really important to hard push the wave, because Yorick is currently going back to base, so having to push really hard allows him to get in a situation like this, where Yorick is even taking down the river camp. That's even better. Sure. Instead of Yorick going back to base, he was actually taking down the river camp, which is even better. Darius was about to place a ward down, but now gets straight up into a situation of 1v1ing the Yorick. You see, guys, just having a Doran Blade, like 2 Doran Blades with 1 page, allows you to easily 1v1 a Yorick at level 6. And the good thing is, like, as soon as this wave gets reset again and he goes back to base, he will be able to get the next item for the Trinity Force. He will have his Ghost up and ready to chase down Yorick once again. He already has an insane amount of farm while having 9 minutes in the game. But rather than going back to base right now, he's staying in the lane, specifically to help out Kindred while for getting the Herald right now. Because if they proceed and get the Herald right now, they could use that in top lane to get the turret very early on in the game. You see, instead of going back to base, having the Herald is very important and it allows to get the turret. He currently has the Ghost up, so it's very good if Yorick pushes down the lane. If Darius pushes the next wave right now, he will come back with a very, very big item. He already has a massive lead over Yorick, guys. Like, this is typically how you want to play against most top laners right now. Not just Yorick in specific, but this is like how you want to play Darius in general. This champion is very straightforward. You just gotta like, in order to play Darius very well, you gotta have like a little bit like of learning the mechanics, but mainly having like map awareness and stuff. You will need this when playing Darius. Now, he just bought a Stinger, which gives 35% attack speed, while also giving 10% CDR. Always recommend getting this eventually, guys. Having more attack speed on Darius is one of the most broken things because it allows to stack up the 5 stacks a whole lot faster. Being able to kill your opponent twice as fast. This is why the Trinity Force on Darius is currently very, very broken. Yorick is coming from the river. Darius can just stop Yorick from getting in the lane right now. He's completely zoning out that Yorick. Does not take any risk though. Does not really take any risk at all. He's going to be maxing his E right now. Guys, if you're playing Darius, do not max your W, whatever it takes. Always max your W as last. Max out your Q and E first. Those are the most important. Right now, all it takes is to have the lane to kind of like slow push directly into Yorick, while also having the lane being centered here. Now in this case, Yorick is actually roaming to mid lane, trying to fight. Instead of staying in the lane, pushing out the lane extremely hard, Darius does decide to walk down to the teamfight as well. He also has his ghost up, so he can easily chase. Look at that. Darius with ghost is really, really broken right now. I can't tell you guys enough how broken it is, guys. It provides like so much move speed. Kassadin is being like Kassadin is completely gone right now. Actually, he's getting caught. Still happens to get caught afterwards. You can clearly see like based on how this Darius player is playing, he's playing very consistent, and this is like how you want to play Darius as well. This Darius player shows the perfect example of how Darius is supposed to be played, guys. Now, at 12 minutes in the game, nearly 13 minutes in the game, he has 2 Dorm Blades, already has the Trinity Force being completed, guys. That's super early in the game. All he has to do right now is force a all-in against that Yorick, and he will definitely win. He's currently level 10. Yorick is level 9. He has a lot more movement speed than Yorick does right now. Yorick still doesn't have any boots. While Darius already has the first tier boots, while also having a Trinity Force with Celerity. Once again, taking the pressure, so he can either use that to take platings, take a trade with Yorick, or potentially even roam around the map, guys. Now the team is currently going to top. He has 2 choices, whether to stay and fight the Yorick, or going back to base to immediately walk bot lane right after, or mid lane. Now it'd be pretty good if Darius goes bot lane right now to split push, because once again, if he gets to split push bot lane and takes all the farm there, he gets to pressure out bot lane all the way. He gets to pressure everything, so he can force more people to chase him down after, and wasting more of the time. He already has Ninja Tabis with Trinity Force completed. I don't really know what the Kassadin is doing, but I think it was quite obvious that Darius was actually farming this out, but whatever. I don't know what he was thinking. I think he was not watching. Something that I would always recommend, I always talk about this, but you know, it's so important when playing top lane. If you're split pushing, don't really forget to actually farm out the jungle camps as well. Being able to farm out the jungle camps allows you to get more XP, more gold, but also denying the camps from the enemy jungler. Instead of staying bot lane trying to fight Yorick, just going for a flank from behind, guys. Instead of risking himself going back in, trying to get multiple kills, he just goes back out again. Does not take any risk, guys. Absolutely takes no risks at all. Also stopping that Yorick from killing the jungler, getting the Yorick as well through queuing him for the sustain. You see, guys, this Darius player has completely mastered the champion. This player has about 30 games in a row where he doesn't feed a single time. He's just playing super consistent, pretty much carrying everything. Even respects the jungler a little bit by taking the camp but not killing it. His next item is going to be his Darius Gauge. Now, once again, like, the build that this Darius player is currently running is really interesting. It's something that you don't see that much. He's building a Trinity Force or Black Lever depending on the matchup and the game. Now, he takes a Darius Gauge most of the time as the secondary item. And then after the Darius Gauge, he often gets the Stone Plates. Now, once again, this is something that you typically don't see at all, Darius. It's something that not many Darius players are ever building. But this guy values the item a lot. Takes down Yorick as well. He couldn't even breathe under the turret, just getting caught immediately. You see, guys, this Darius player has like constant pressure around the whole game. Caston is right here, trying to catch a Kindred, but it's obviously not working. He's like standing behind the wall, waiting for people to jump on Kindred, and then following up after. His Ghost is going to be back up in a minute. About to get the dragon as well. This is going to be the third dragon, guys. The enemy team, they can't do anything. Because Darius has so much pressure in the game, together with Kindred, they can't, like, none of them can breathe in this game right now. They don't have the time. Because Darius is also taking jungle camps. Braves can't even farm. Once again, pushing down the lane. As soon as Darius goes back to base very soon, he will get the Darius Gauge. He's going to be unstoppable. Nobody's going to be able to beat him anymore. There's currently a fight in mid. Let's see if he competes for it. That's a really, really massive fight in mid right now. Kindred and Darius can just beat them all. I like how Darius is just walking across the map, just walking everywhere, and he just walks over everybody like it's nothing. Before going back to base, he proceeds to look for like more jungle camps. And like I've mentioned before, guys, taking down jungle camps allows you to make the enemy jungler fall behind. It's not just because you get XP or gold or whatever, but it's also because of the enemy jungler. Has like a 40 CS difference right now at around 20 minutes in the game. Going back to base right now. He likes to go for another wave. Anyways, as soon as he goes back to base right now, it's going to be over. He gets the Darius Gauge right now. As soon as he builds up the next item, like the Stone Plate item, the enemy team is not going to stand a chance. He also, like, something, you don't see it that much, but something you could do is buying a stopwatch on Darius. Now, I don't see that many Darius players building a stopwatch, but especially if you are worth like 1,000 gold and the game is close to ending and you have like 7 kills and have had like a flawless game so far, I highly recommend at some point getting a stopwatch as well, because the chances of you getting into like a rough situation is all like the chance is always there. pops the ghost, chasing down 2 champions at the same time, guys. Look at this. Flashes, gets one auto off, gets another. This is Darius being played to perfection, guys. This is how you want to do it. This is where they're going to end the game. Gets the hero off as well. Yeah, this is where the game is going to end. Oh, look at that hero being a little slow. Anyways, guys, this is pretty much how you play Darius in the top lane. Hopefully you guys have been able to learn something from this. Anyways, if you guys want to see challenging games from me, don't forget to check out my stream, guys. I'm streaming like 6 times a week, so there will be a link inside the description. But anyway, thank you so much for watching today's YouTube video, and I will catch you guys up in the next one. Peace.